Hey, yo, welcome back to the Straight to the Point podcast, episode 7, y'all. We moving along, we moving strong. All right, first of all, I want to just thank God, as always. I want to thank Him for waking me up this morning and allowing me to talk about sports, which is something I love to do. All right, without Him, I would not be here right now. So, week 3, down the drain, is over, and I told y'all I hate Tuesdays because you just can't wait to get to the next weekend, right? That's just how much football impacts my life. I'm sitting here like, man, can Thursday get here already? And then when Thursday's done, can Sunday get here already? So I'm just so anxious to see what's gonna happen in week 4 because week 3 was a good week, or I haven't been disappointed by any weeks this far in this season. I mean, of course, if my Steelers lose, I'm gonna be mad, but there's still good games around the league. Like my grandfather said, I'm gonna give him a shout out right now. My granddaddy said, look, he can turn to any game and sit there and watch it because that's just how much competition is in the league right now. And I totally agree with him. And today I'm gonna go over 4 games. I usually do 5 games on Tuesdays, but I'm gonna do 4 because I think these 4 was the 4 we're talking about. All right. So before I even start talking about games and everything, I'm gonna start off with, and if you wanna break my show into segments, okay, let's call this segment "Let Me Explain Myself." All right, let me explain myself. So, for those of y'all that's been watching since the first episode, y'all know that my Super Bowl pick was the 49ers and the Raiders. Okay, some people said I was crazy back then, and they definitely saying I'm crazy right now. Now, the 49ers pick don't count anymore. Trey Lance got hurt. If y'all saw why I picked that team, it was because of Trey Lance. And not just Trey Lance, but Trey Lance combined with Kyle Shanahan. Okay, so the Chiefs, right? You can say the Chiefs going to win because of Mahomes. All right, I'll take that. I didn't say they're going to win because of Trey Lance. I said they're going to win because of Trey Lance and Kyle Shanahan. That combination was going to give this team the ability to get over the hump that Jimmy G couldn't provide. Boom. Week 2, Trey Lance gets hurt. My pick is done, and he's done for the season. So my team, the team I picked, is done for the season. I can't continue to go with this team when the reason that I picked them to go to the Super Bowl is not there anymore. So y'all should be nice enough to let me change my pick. Okay, and if y'all let me change my pick, for those of y'all that's saying, you know what, that's cool, change your pick. I'm picking between the Packers and the Bucks. I'm explaining why in a little bit, but if I can change my pick for the NFC, it's the Packers or the Bucks. All right, I have that final answer by week 6, and it's not about how they're playing, nothing like that. I just gotta really think of who I want to go with, A-Rod or Tom Brady, and what they have, the situation around them, given that. All right, now the Raiders. The Raiders are my AFC pick. Okay. They're 0-3. Okay, they're 0-3. It's cool. My hand is like reaching for the panic button, but it's not touching it yet because this team has beat himself 3 weeks straight. So if you play 3 games and y'all can't tell me that the other team was just better than the Raiders, then I'm cool with that pick because neither 3 games you can say that. You couldn't say the Chargers was just outright better than the Raiders. No, because Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions and they lost by a possession. I believe like 16-21, something like that. 19-24, something around that those numbers. So the Chargers didn't just go out there and demolish them, and the Chargers are a team that a lot of people picked to go to the Super Bowl. So they didn't just beat them. The Raiders beat themselves. Derek Carr threw 3 interceptions. Okay, that's your fault. They lost the game. Next week, you blow a 20-point lead. The Cardinals are not better than the Raiders. The Raiders threw that game away, and Josh McDaniels came out and said, look, we got to be more aggressive. When we have a lead, we got to keep our foot on the pedal versus playing conservative. Cool, I got it. That's not a problem with me. This past week, if y'all watched the game, so I didn't get to watch the game this past weekend because I was watching other games, but there's a lot of drop balls, a lot of penalties. Hunter Renfrow did not play. Hunter Renfrow had a concussion from last week. Okay, they missed it, so they missed a huge piece of their offense. They were dropping passes, penalties. You saw one of the interceptions the only interception Derek Carr threw was popped right out the hands of Darren Waller. Darren Waller had the ball in his hands, was about to catch the ball, got scared to get hit, lost sight of the ball popped up, and the Titans intercepted it, and it could have been a touchdown. All right, so they're beating themselves, and I feel like it's one of them situations where, like in basketball, for those of y'all that play basketball, I used to play basketball, when you was shooting the ball, right, you're missing shots, so you 0 for 5, 0 for 4, 0 for 6, whatever. And people say, keep shooting. And once that ball go in, right, now you're good. Right, so you shooting, you're missing, you're like, man, I can't make a shot. Once you make that one shot, you good. Now you just pulling from everywhere, and you're not scared anymore. I feel like it's the same situation. You're 0-3, you're losing games. Once you win one game, One game that would break the ice, and I think they would go on a run. You can go on a losing streak. You can go on a winning streak. All right, simple as that. So I think the Raiders are still alive. No, I'm not pressing the panic button yet. I'm reaching for the panic button, but I'm not pressing it. All right. And then my other team, the 49ers, I should be able to change that pick because of injury. All right. So now that's out the way. I explained myself. So y'all take that however y'all want to take it. All right. Hopefully y'all let me change my pick. But if y'all don't, cool. Got the picks wrong as of right now. All right. So now let's go ahead and talk about week 3, y'all. Week 3 was a good week, just like week 1 and week 2. All right. I went 6 for 10. Okay. I got 6 games right. I got 10 games wrong. It's the same as week 1, right? So I'm consistent. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I'd rather be consistent than come up here and tell y'all and pick my teams and go 16-0 and then come back the next week and go 0-16. You all over the place. Then next week be 3-13. Then next week you 9-5. No, 9-7. Sorry. Okay, I'd rather be consistent than be all over the place. So y'all listening to a consistent analyst of football. Okay, so I'm very consistent. I'm consistent, and I ain't nothing wrong with that. 6-10, not pretty, right? But I'm picking consistently, and there's nothing wrong with that. All right, I'd rather get B's the whole year. Okay, I'd rather get B's the whole year in school, and then get an A one week, and then get an F the next week, then get a C the next week, and a B the next week. I'd rather be consistent. Okay, consistent. That is a huge word in life, and that is what I am when it comes to picking teams. All right, so the 4 games that I decided to talk about, right? One of them, the game of the week, Packers and Bucks. If y'all watched this game, y'all saw a great football game. Well, depending on what you like, right? Some people like high-scoring games. They like if y'all remember a couple years back, the Rams and the Chiefs, right? I believe the final score like 50-something to 40-something. They was going back and forth Monday Night Football. I'll never forget that game. Highest-scoring game I've ever seen in my life. All right, some of y'all like that, but some of us like games that are it's just ugly. It's ugly because it's not high scoring, but it's a great football game. Like, this is the game I sat there and I actually watched from the first quarter all the way to the last play of the game, because I just love seeing 2 great teams battling it out. And not necessarily high scoring, and I told y'all it won't be high scoring. I knew it wouldn't be high scoring because you got one team. Tom Brady has no weapons right now. Mike Evans suspended, Julio Jones hurt, Chris Godwin hurt. Then you got Aaron Rodgers. He still got to gain chemistry with his receivers. So they're going to run the ball a lot. Running the ball a lot, you're not going to get a lot of points. Right? A lot of points nowadays come through the air. I can't run the ball the whole game and get 30, 40 points. It's not going to happen. All right, and I told y'all that Aaron Rodgers that we saw the past 2 years is on hold right now for this specific time because he's gaining chemistry with his receivers, so he's not going to be throwing for 400 yards, 500 yards. He's not going to be doing that. Okay, so MVP Rodgers is sitting down right now because he wants his team to win, so they're going to do what they got to do, which is run the ball and then throw smart passes. All right, they're not going to be throwing the ball all day. This is not the same team with Devontae Adams. This is post-Devontae Adams. You got to learn how to live without Devontae, which is run the ball and let your defense take care of business, obviously. So, Packers beat the Bucks 14-12. All right, Aaron Rodgers 27-35, 255 yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Aaron Rodgers came out hot, y'all. His first 2 times he got the ball, he walked down the field and scored against a great Tampa Bay defense. All right, Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, I told y'all, they're going to be riding these 2 bell cows. All right, they're going to give them the ball the whole game. All right, 24 combined, they had 24 carries for 68 yards. That's not a good stat line when it comes to yards, but they played a great defense in Tampa Bay. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to feed them to, regardless of who they play. Obviously, the run game wasn't working, but they're going to keep running the ball because they just don't have that threat on the outside yet. All right, but throughout this game, if y'all watch, Aaron Rodgers did gain chemistry with one specific player, Romeo Doubs. Okay, I've been talking about Christian Watson and Romeo Doubs this whole year. I said, look, if he can get one of them to be good, like just to get chemistry with, to trust a reliable target, they'll be just fine because he already has Allen Lazard. Allen Lazard and Randall Cobb are 2 of his trusted receivers. He trusts them. They've been there before. He know what they got. These 2 rookies, right? He gonna get one of them to jail. Christian Watson's still dealing with injuries, so he's not really available. But Romeo Doubs on 8 targets, caught 8 passes, and has 73 yards and 1 touchdown. If A-Rod can get another player to go along with Allen Lazard, Randall Cobb, and even last week against the Bears, y'all saw Sammy Watkins came to life, right? Sammy Watkins didn't play this game, so Romeo Doubs took those reps, and Romeo Doubs went 8 for 8, 73 yards and a touchdown. If he can build a little core, a little receiving core of guys he trusts, then his offense will be very scary. They'll have a pass game and a run game. But as of right now, rely on the run. Romeo Doubs is coming along, so it's about to get scary. I better pray that Romeo and Aaron Rodgers don't become best of friends, because if they do, this offense is going to be scary, y'all. So like I said, Aaron Rodgers went out and scored in the first 2 drives, right? 14-3, I believe. And then they drove down the field again, got the ball back, drove down the field again, and Aaron Jones fumbled in the red zone, got hit by Vita Vea from behind. I would have fumbled that ball. You would have fumbled that ball, okay? So everybody would have fumbled that ball. I've never seen a running back get hit that hard by a D lineman, right, from behind, right, ever. So he did fumble the ball in the red zone. And since that happened, they didn't score again the rest of the game. Right, so that did kind of ruin their flow, but the defense was able to hold Tampa Bay off to let them win that game. So in the second half, Brady, 31-42, okay, 271 yards and a touchdown. He had no Mike Evans, no Chris Godwin, no Julio Jones, but was still able to keep his team in the game. Well, the defense kept him in the game for the second half. Because, like I said, the Packers didn't score the second half. So Todd Bowles went into halftime, made the proper adjustments, and they was able to maintain Aaron Rodgers in that offense the rest of the second half. But Brady still found a way to make it work with 4th and 5th options, right? Russell Gage was his best receiver the other day. Russell Gage is not a great receiver in this league. Russell Gage is not even a good number 2 receiver, right? Russell Gage is a 3rd option, 4th option. But he made him look like a number 1 receiver because that's all he had. All right, so in the Bucks lost 2 fumbles. Russell Gage fumbled once, right? And then Rashad Perriman's fumbled the other, made the other fumble. I'm sorry. So there's 2 receivers that y'all probably don't even know fumbled twice in that game, but the Bucks were still able to stay in the game. All right, now the last drive happened. This last drive shows you why you never bet against Tom Brady. Don't ever bet against him, because he will find a way. All right, they drove down the field, 89 yards. He threw a touchdown to Russell Gage, right? Made the score 12-14. So it was 6-14. He scored. Now it's 12-14 in the 4th quarter. Okay, and it's the last minute and couple seconds, I believe. Then they had delay game. Why they're going for a 2-point conversion? So they're about to go for a 2-point conversion so they can tie the game, and they had a delay in game. Right, they're trying to get the offense set, people motioning, shifting, and then they couldn't get the playoff. Right, you don't expect that from Tom Brady. Right, he's such a veteran. Why would that happen? Well, it happened. Right, he looked at the sideline, Todd Bowles, and said, "Look, we got to call a timeout." They had no timeouts. All right, so they had to get that playoff, and I believe they're going to run the ball with Leonard Fournette up the middle. So they had to get backed up. Can't run the ball no more. Now you got to pass it. They passed the ball. And it was a great play by Devondre Campbell. He came and they knocked the ball down, or tipped the ball. The linebacker for the Packers came and tipped the ball, and then I think it would have been incomplete anyways, right? I think that the DB for the Packers, I can't think of his name right now. He was playing good defense on Russell Gage, but great play by Devondre Campbell. Great job by the Packers defense. Bend but do not break. That's the definition of bending and not breaking. So that was a great game, guys. Great game between 2 legendary quarterbacks, 2 of the best quarterbacks in my time that I've seen play. And honestly, this might be the last one, right? It might be the last, unless they meet in the playoffs, because you never know. It could be Brady last year. It might not be his last year, but they might not ever play each other again. So I hope y'all watched that game. I hope y'all soaked it in, and I hope y'all loved it, because I loved every second of it. All right, next game, Ravens and the Patriots. All right, the Ravens did beat the Patriots 37-26. This was a game. It was a game. Going into this week, I didn't expect it to be a game. I thought the Ravens would run all over the Patriots just because of talent, right? Bill Belichick can only do so much as a coach, schematically wise, right? If you don't have the players, then it doesn't matter. You can have the best scheme in the world, but if you don't have the players, it does not work, especially when the other team is more talented than you. I thought the Patriots defense could not stop Lamar in that offense as of right now, because Lamar is cooking. He is very hot, but there's something I saw in this game from Lamar that I saw last week, and I'm trying to tell y'all this can get him in trouble down the stretch, okay? It can get him in trouble in the future, and I'm explaining to y'all in a little bit what I'm talking about. But Lamar Jackson, like I said, I'm not really a Lamar Jackson fan. Everybody that knows me know that, okay? I'm a big critic of Lamar, and because of the way he's played in the past. But this year, nothing I can say. I can't say nothing. Right now, he's playing great. He has He 18 for 29 in this game, 218 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. He had 107 rushing yards and a touchdown. Okay, Lamar's playing great right now. Nothing I can say. I give credit when credit is due. All right, and then Mac Jones on the other end. Mac Jones one of them quarterbacks where he needs a good scheme to be successful. He's not a freakish athlete. He's just not. He can't throw the ball 50 yards down the field. That's not what he does. He needs weapons, which he really doesn't have right now. That's why I'm not high or not sold on this Patriots team. And then he needs a great scheme. Josh McDaniels is in Vegas right now with the Raiders. So he doesn't have that great coordinator. He doesn't have weapons. So I don't think he can do it much right now. But this game, he didn't look that well. He did look bad with the interceptions. But yardage-wise, he was 22 or 32. That's pretty good. 10 incomplete passes, 321 yards. 3 interceptions, though. 3 interceptions. That's what killed this game. 31 yards rushing and a touchdown. All right, so going into halftime, 14-13. It's a dogfight. All right, like I said, Belichick can only do so much, right? He can keep the game close, but somebody got to make plays to get them over the hump. All right, so it's 14-13 at halftime. Patriots came out and scored. They went up 20-14. All right, 2014, and then things just fell apart. The Patriots ended up having 4 turnovers, guys. 4 turnovers in the whole second half combined. If you have 4 turnovers in a game, you might not win that game. If you have 4 turnovers in the second half, which is the most important half, then you're not going to win the game. You're just not going to win. That's just not a recipe for success. All right, the Ravens went within those 4 turnovers. The Ravens won a 17-0 run, a 17-0 run. So they scored 17 straight points. The Patriots could not score at all, which made the score 31-20. 31-20, you're thinking, okay, the game getting out of hand. Lamar and them about to take off. They about to be over with. But that's not the case. The Patriots then came back and scored. So it made it 31-26. All right, 31-26. But then Mac Jones threw an interception and they fumbled. Okay, the game was lost by the Patriots, honestly. If we're being real. Lamar had a great game. I'm not taking that from him. But remember I told y'all earlier, Lamar showed me something in his past 2 games that I'm not liking, and it's going to hurt this team in the future. And when they play teams like the Dolphins, okay? Last week I told y'all, I put, what I said? I said I put 25% of that loss on Lamar, 25-30% of that loss on Lamar, because Lamar, you got to finish games. You got to put the nail in the coffin. When a team is coming back, you got to be able to say, no, I'm about to score a touchdown and make you work even harder. Right? You can't go out there and keep punting the ball or turn over the ball and letting them keep the momentum. You can't do that. So that's what I critiqued him last week on, right? This week, same thing. It's 31-26, okay? This is the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, 31-26. Going to the fourth quarter. And this is every drive in the fourth quarter. This is what happens. The Patriots scored and got a 2-point conversion. All right, so now it's 31-26. So they scored again in the fourth quarter. It's 31-26, okay? Ravens get the ball. They fumble. Patriots get the ball. They walk down the field, and Mac Jones threw an interception at the 10-yard line. Terrible pass, terrible decision. He threw an interception. Lamar gets the ball back, and they got a punt. So Lamar get the ball back. They end up punting. Patriots get the ball. The Patriots, they threw a 26-yard pass to Nelson Aguilar. Nelson Aguilar got a huge gain and fumbled. Gave the ball right back to Lamar. Okay? And then Lamar ran a touchdown. Mind you, it's still some time on the clock. Mac Jones didn't get the ball back. And Mac Jones threw another interception. And then Lamar was able to kneel the ball out for the rest of the game. So those 2 possessions that y'all fumbled on and you had to punt. If y'all played a better team, if y'all played a Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes, a Aaron Rodgers, a Tom Brady, a Justin Herbert, anybody of that caliber, they're going to capitalize on those mistakes and on those empty drives. They're going to. It's 31-26. It's a 1-possession game. All the Patriots had to do was score, but they couldn't. They got out to the red zone, threw an interception. They got a big game by Nelson Aguilar. He fumbled. Okay, you can go from hero to 0 in 1 week. I promise you that he's a hero against us, right? And then this week he is 0 now. He fumbled the ball. If you play a better team, a better quarterback, they're going to capitalize when you can't finish the game. Lamar ended up scoring at the end of the game, but that was after Mac Jones threw a pick. That was after Nelson Aguilar fumbled. Between that, your offense fumbled, and then you also had to punt the ball. So what I'm saying is, Lamar, you gotta close these games out. You're having good games. Don't get it twisted. But the fourth quarter is you going missing, right? We putting out a what's it called? What's it called? APV for you. We gotta find you. Where are you in the fourth quarter? You gotta be able to finish these games. That's what I saw against Miami. You played a good offense. Guess what? They came back up 35-14 in the fourth quarter. That's bad. Okay, you got outscored in the fourth quarter. Here we go again. This game, if Mac Jones was a little better, or if you played a better team, they would have came back and won that game. So Lamar, you got to be able to finish games in the fourth quarter. That's my only critique on Lamar. Other than that, he's playing good. So the Ravens did win that game. Dolphins and Bills, okay. I picked the Bills to win this game. They didn't win. But for all you Tua fans out there, the Tua that y'all saw on Sunday is the Tua that he is. The Tua that y'all saw against the Ravens, that might never happen again. 6 touchdowns, that would never happen. That's why I said this Tua train, don't jump on it, because he's an average quarterback with great weapons. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. He has good weapons, but he's still an average quarterback. Tua went 13 of 18 for 186 yards and a touchdown. That's the Tua he will always be. That's the Tua he has always been. Okay, he had one great game, and it was really a comeback game, right? He didn't do it throughout the course of the game. He did it all really in the fourth quarter. That's what was great about it. Okay, so by that point, they're just saying, look, we got to try and get back into this game and throw the ball downfield. That's not who Tua is, guys. Tua is an average quarterback with he has good weapons around him. All right, and if he can just be accurate like he was, 13 of 18, that's not bad. If you can be accurate, then you can win football games in this league. But this game was more about the Dolphins' defense, guys. The Dolphins held the Bills to 19 points. They won the game 21-19. The Bills, in the past, they scored 31 points in week 1 and 41 points in week 2. And then you hold them to 19. That's a great game by the defense and not necessarily the offense. And you look at this game, so Josh Allen went 42 through 63 passes, guys. Went 42 of 63, 400 yards and 2 touchdowns. So that's a pretty good game for Josh Allen. The Bills, if you look at the stats of this game, it's so lopsided. If I told you this, so if you didn't watch the game and I just read the stats, you would say the Bills blew them out like 40-10, 40-3. The Bills had 495 total yards. Okay, Dolphins had 212 yards. Blew them out yard wise. The Bills had 90 plays. The Dolphins had 39 plays. Blew them out in plays. The Bills punted the ball 1 time. The Dolphins punted the ball 5 times. You won in that category as well. In the time of possession, 40 minutes and 40 seconds for the Bills. It's 60 minutes in a game, right? Not even with halftime. I mean, not with overtime. I don't count overtimes. 60 minutes in a game. They had the ball for 40 minutes and 40 seconds. And then the Dolphins had the ball for 19 minutes and 20 seconds. They are blowing them out in every category, y'all. And this is why this happened. This is why Ken Dorsey lost his mind in the press box. I probably would have did the same thing. Actually, I ain't that crazy. But this is why he did this. Because you blew him out in every category and could not win the game. I don't blame you. I do not blame you. 17-21. So it was 17-21 with a minute left. Minute and 49 seconds left. And as y'all know, Josh Allen missed Isaiah McKenzie on a touchdown. I'm talking that he was open. And Josh Allen just missed it, y'all. He missed the pass. And it happens sometimes, right? As a quarterback, I used to play quarterback. You miss the open pass a lot. That's probably the hardest pass. One of my coaches used to always tell me, the hardest pass to ever throw is when he is wide open. He wasn't necessarily wide open, but it was a touchdown. It was going to be a touchdown. And it was going to win this game. Then, as y'all know, the Dolphins had a butt punt. Right? Never seen that in my life. My 19 years of living, I've never seen that. Kick the ball off the boy butt, and then they end up getting a safety. So it ended up being 19-21, and then the Bills just couldn't get down the field and score. They didn't have enough time on the clock. So that game was lost by the Bills, y'all. Tua, you didn't throw the ball, you didn't throw interceptions. You had a good touchdown pass. You maintained, y'all kept the game. How do I want to word this? You didn't throw the game away. How about that? You didn't throw the game away, but the Bills definitely lost that game. They beat you in every category, and they just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Simple as that. So many drives they went down and could not convert that drive into a touchdown. So Bills, look, the Bills play the Ravens next week. I guarantee, I want to put money on it. If anybody don't put money on it, text me now. Josh Allen will have a career game. If y'all saw how mad he was after that game, if y'all saw how mad he was when he missed Isaiah McKenzie, he was hot. He was hot. All right, so I think the Bills and Josh Allen will go crazy. So if y'all betting any kind of money on Josh Allen, betting any money on the Bills, I would do it because I think he's the kind of quarterback that will lose a game for a team and then come back and just whoop whoever he played next week. And it's just what happened to be the Ravens, okay? So in the Ravens secondary, it's still a little suspect. So Josh Allen will have a career game. All right, but can I see the Ken Dorsey thing one more time? Let me see. Let me see that one more time. Look, I've never, out of all my years of watching football, I've never lost my mind like that in my life. In my life, I have never ever lost my mind like that. But let me tell you something. He even came back and apologized for that too. If y'all even saw that, he came back and apologized. But man, he lost his mind. He is crazy. He is crazy, y'all. Look, yeah, let me tell you something. If Josh Allen don't come back and play the way that I think he gonna play next week, you gonna see that again. How much you want to bet? But look, the last thing I'm gonna go over: Cowboys, Giants. A lot of y'all looking at me like, "Whoa, Jay Best, week one, you said the Cowboys was almost in panic mode." Y'all still are, and I'm gonna tell you why in a little bit. Cowboys beat the Giants 23-16. Cooper Rush went 21-31, 215 yards and a touchdown. As a backup quarterback, that's an A+. I'll give you an A- for that. That's a good game. That's a great game. You took care of the ball, 215 yards, 1 touchdown. You controlled the game. Okay, I'm not even gonna talk about who you went against, but as a backup to go on Monday Night Football prime time and play like that, you did good. All right, Daniel Jones, 20 for 37, 196 yards, 1 interception. He had 79 rushing yards. Daniel Jones is a way better runner than he is a thrower. I watched that game and I just struggled. The Giants were 2-0, and people keep hyping them, but the Giants are a bad football team, guys. Daniel Jones, I told y'all when I made my pyramid, right? They're at the bottom because Daniel Jones is not the answer. They have to get another quarterback. I don't care who the coach is, Brian Dable. I don't care who the running back is, Saquon. I don't care. Daniel Jones is not good enough. And watching that game, yes, his O-line was bad. Yes, the Cowboys was chasing him the whole game. But it's so hard to watch him because I just don't think he's a good quarterback. And I don't think he should be a starting quarterback in this league, in my opinion. He can run though. Don't get it twisted. He can run 79 rushing yards. He can run. He's faster than people think. But it's hard to watch him. Honestly, I think the Giants got to go a different route in quarterback if they want to win anytime soon. But Saquon Barkley did have a good game. 14 carries, 81 yards. He had a touchdown. The touchdown was pretty nice. That was the Saquon of old. That's Saquon we saw his first year, second year, before the injury started hitting. So Saquon, I'm going to say he's back. He is back. But as long as Daniel Jones is at quarterback, like I said, this game said way more about Carolina and who else did they beat? The Titans. Then it said about the Giants, because it just showed how bad Carolina and the Titans are, or how bad they played that week. Because the Giants, I just don't see how they're a good team in my opinion. All right, but one thing I want to say to Cowboy Nation. All right, CeeDee Lamb, he's not number one. He's not even top 10, maybe not even top 15 receiver, and this is why. He went 13 straight games. That was his 13th straight game without 100 yards. Your number one receiver, cannot go 13 straight games without 100 yards. That means he's showing no promise. And last year he wasn't number one. I'll give you that. But I just don't see how he's great, how he's special. You can't say he's special whenever he's 13 straight games without 100 yards. I haven't seen special yet. And then last night snapped his 10-game streak with no touchdowns. So he doesn't score. He doesn't produce the 100-yard games that other top receivers, special receivers do. So I don't see how he's a number one receiver. I just don't see it. So for those of y'all trying to argue that, show me a game where I don't want to see a one-handed catch, because I also saw a drop, a wide-open drop. So don't show me a one-handed catch when I can show you a drop. CeeDee Lamb is just not that number one receiver. Now so you can say you have a stable. CeeDee Lamb is okay. He's not bad. Right, so you got CD and Noah Brown. I think Noah Brown playing better than CeeDee Lamb, in my opinion, because I don't even know who that is, but he's coming out and making a lot of catches. He's getting a lot of yards for y'all's team. And then Michael Gallup working his way back into the lineup. So y'all have a nice little stable, but CeeDee Lamb is not number one receiver. And this is my thing. I told y'all, I've even told my family, people around me, Cooper Rush is playing good, right? Better than I expected. And it's like he's uplifting the team, is playing better with him. People keep saying Cooper Rush, just take care of business till Dak come back. Who is Dak? Who is Dak? Dak Prescott is not a good quarterback, guys. He's not. He's middle of the pack, average to me. He really is not. And I'm getting tired of people saying, just wait till Dak come back. Just hold the fort down till Dak come back. What has Dak done to where y'all can say we're a so much better team with Dak? Cooper Rush is playing better than Dak. I mean, of course, Dak only played a half and a quarter, right? But right now, the way Cooper Rush is playing, this is why Jerry Jones came out and said there might be some QB controversy whenever he comes back. Let me ask y'all a question real quick. If Mahomes got hurt, if Justin Herbert got hurt, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, if who else? Matthew Stafford, if any of the top 10 quarterbacks got hurt, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, right now. Even no, I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson not top 10 on my list, but Lamar Jackson, okay, Russell Wilson, anybody. If any of those names got hurt, would an owner ever come out and say there'll be QB controversy? When they come back from their injury, who is going to be starting? I don't care how good the backup played. Look at Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson got hurt last year. Tyler Huntley played good. But when Lamar Jackson come back, you get bumped back down to number 2 to the second string. I promise you that. I don't care how good you play. That's the case with those quarterbacks. With Dak, you can entertain the fact that Cooper Rush might be starting the rest of the year. You can entertain that. Because Dak is just not that guy to me. And Cooper coming out here and the way he's playing, you can honestly make an argument that, look, if Cooper Rush, for the sake of argument, I don't think it's going to happen, but I believe they play the Commanders next week. Then they play the Rams. If he win them 2 games around the time Dak comes, especially the Rams game, keep Cooper in. Don't put Dak back in there. Simple as that. That's my argument. Okay, like I said, them other quarterbacks, if they get hurt, you will automatically say that you don't even think about it. If I say when they come back, do you put them in the game? Yes, you put them in the game. But when Dak comes back, you might have to sit there and say, you know what? We might stick with Cooper. That's what Jerry Jones said. Y'all owner/manager. So if Jerry Jones is entertaining that, he's obviously saying that, look, Dak is not that great to where his spot is just secured. Right? So that's defending my argument. So I'm saying Dak is just not that guy. So Cowboys, y'all got the win, right? Cooper Rush might be our starting quarterback along the way. Just know that. I just hope y'all know that, all right? Now, heading into this week 4. Week 4, y'all cannot wait. Thursday night, Miami plays Cincinnati. Miami is going to Cincinnati to play Cincinnati. Cincinnati did get their first win of the year. The Bengals got their first win of the year against the Jets. They beat them 27-12. All right? I think that's like the Raiders situation. They get a win, they can go on a run. Because the Bengals is a good team. There's the reason why I picked the Bengals to beat my Steelers. Week 1. Reason why I picked the Bengals to beat Dallas week 2. The Bengals are a good team. They O-line just is suspect. And they only allowed 2 sacks this week. So that's an improvement, right? You was getting tortured by the Steelers and the Cowboys week 1. Week 1 and week 2, sorry. You allowed 13 sacks in the first 2 weeks. You only allowed 2 sacks this game. That's good. You're taking a step in the right direction for what it's worth. You played the Jets, but still, for what it's worth, you only allowed 2 sacks. Right? Now you playing the Miami Dolphins. If they can just keep Joe Burrow upright, I believe the Bengals can get this upset win. Miami is hot right now. Don't get it twisted. 3-0, right? They can win this game, obviously, right? I'm not gonna say the Bengals by a long shot, right? I think it will be a pretty good game because I think the Bengals need this win to keep themselves relevant. If you see what I'm saying, they need this win. If they can beat Miami, then a lot of people would say, you know what? The Bengals still here, but if they go 1-3, then people can say, yeah, the Bengals, they're not the same no more. So I think the Bengals need this win way more than Miami. So I go with emotions, all right? When teams need a win, I'm gonna go with that. So I'm picking the Bengals, even though Miami just beat the Bills, right? Like I said, I think the Bills beat themselves more so. I think the Bengals can win this game at home on Thursday night. So I'm gonna go with the Bengals. I'm gonna go with Joe Burrow over Tua. Right, I'm going to go with Jamar, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd over Tyreek and Jalen Waddle just as a unit. I think that same unit we saw last year and we was raving about, they're the same receivers. It's just that Joe Burrow don't have time to throw the ball. So, let me put a little stipulation on it. Can I put this on it? If the Bengals allow more than 4 sacks, they're going to lose. If they can protect Joe Burrow, they'll win. Simple as that. So, I got the Bengals. But if the Miami Dolphins get 4 sacks, Miami's gonna win, but I will pick the Bengals on my podcast. I'm picking the Bengals right now, right? So I got the Bengals Thursday night football. Make sure y'all are there on Amazon Video. Amazon, y'all gotta get Amazon to watch the game. All right, Miami at Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati. I got Joe Burrow. I think this is a statement win. This is a win to show everybody that look, we are still relevant in the AFC. All right, so that's it for today, y'all. Today's episode was going over week 3 and then heading into week 4, Thursday night football. All right, so y'all please watch the game. All right, look, subscribe, like, and spread the video around, y'all. Send it to y'all family. Y'all talk. Don't forget, my offer's still on the table. 100 subscribers, and I will be adding guests to the show. All right, so if y'all want to see that, help me out. Spread the word. Let people know. All right, let your grandmama know. Let your grandpa know. Let your great-grandma know. I don't care who it is. Let your bus driver know. Whoever, kids, let your teachers know. I don't care. Let them know. Tell them to like, subscribe, and share. All right, but look, much love. Thank y'all for watching. All right, y'all be safe out there. Keep God first, and y'all be just fine. All right, I'm out.